welcome to the 56th edition of Marex Maritime News.
The Shipping Corporation of India Limited, as part of its ongoing Diamond Jubilee celebrations and also to commemorate the International Women's Day, achieved a remarkable feat when Shri Mansukh Mandaviya, the Honorable Minister of State in charge for ports, shipping and waterways, flagged off virtually the 18 women officers sailing team on SCI's oil product carrier, the MT Swarna Krishna, from JNPT liquid berth on the 6th of March 2021. The vessel sailed for Wadinar in Gujarat under Captain Suneha Gadpande and Chief Engineer Devya Jain. It is all the more remarkable for Indian women and for the women of the Merchant Marine that SCI itself is presently helmed by its chairperson, Mrs. H.K. Joshi.
The headlines on Monday, the 8th of March 2021. PM inaugurates a second edition of MIS 2021. DGS notches up several MOUs worth crores. Global economy to rebound in 2021. SCI shares up 28% in March. Is dry bulk's strange Q1 a precursor of a coming boom? Global cruise trips selling out fast. On 2nd March, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi inaugurated one of the largest virtual summits in the world, the second edition of Maritime India Summit 2021. More than 1.7 lakh participants from more than 100 nations participated. The PM invited the global investors, saying, India's long coastline awaits you. India's hard-working people await you. Invest in our ports, invest in our people. Let India be your preferred trade destination. Let Indian ports be your port of call for trade and commerce. In his concluding remark on the third day, Shipping Minister Mr. Mansukh Mandaviya said, Maritime India Summit 2021 will empower and strengthen Maritime India Vision 2030. The expectations and aspirations of the world towards India have increased. We have to keep marching towards achieving our goals. MOUs signed during the summit should bear successful outcomes with our dedicated and focused efforts.
मेरे पास दो सेशंस थे, दो ब्रेक सेशंस. पहला था मैन पावर डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड. इसमें 3 इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर थे और 4 डोमेस्टिक स्पीकर, जिसमें माननीय मंत्री स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप भी शामिल थे. माननीय मंत्री ने बताया कि ये MOU मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट के बीच में कुछ तैयार हो रहे हैं, वो जल्दी साइन हो जाने चाहिए. मैरीटाइम नॉलेज पूल को बढ़ाने में फाइनेंस, इंश्योरेंस, लॉ, ओशन टेक्नोलॉजी, ओशन गवर्नेंस, ये सब पे शिक्षा शुरू होनी चाहिए. जो हमारा विजन में नॉलेज क्लस्टर और लिविंग लैब की बात कही गई है, उस पर काफ़ी चर्चा हुई नॉर्वे और सिंगापुर के स्पीकर्स द्वारा. उन्होंने बताया कि हमें इसके लिए डेटा का फ्री फ्लो देना पड़ेगा. साथ साथ कुछ टेस्टिंग बेड्स, समुद्र के अंदर कुछ टेस्टिंग बेड्स आइडेंटिफाई करके इनको देना होगा और रेगुलेशंस उसके लिए बनाना होगा. ट्रेनिंग के क्षेत्र में ये डिस्कस हुआ कि जो 3 नए ट्रेंड आ रहे हैं शिपिंग में, डिकार्बनाइजेशन और ऑटोमेटिक वेसल एंड हाइब्रिड वेसल और रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, यूज़ ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, इसमें अपने सीफेयरर्स को ट्रेनिंग देना ज़रूरी है. डीप सी फिशिंग के लिए मधु नायर साहब ने प्रेजेंटेशन दिया था, जिसमें शिपिंग डिज़ाइन और स्किल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ फिशिंग कम्युनिटी और फाइनेंसिंग ऑफ फिशिंग सेक्टर, इस 3 पे चर्चा हुई. स्किल डेवलपमेंट के लिए लॉजिस्टिक्स क्षेत्र में जो लॉजिस्टिक्स स्किल डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल है, उन्होंने अपने सारे स्कीम्स को डिटेल में बताया. जो दूसरा था सर ब्रेकआउट सेशन, वो शिपिंग लेटेस्ट ट्रेंड फ्यूचर पोस्ट पैंडमिक पे था. इसमें 5 इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर थे और 1 डोमेस्टिक स्पीकर. इसमें सर सबसे बड़ी चर्चा डीकार्बनाइजेशन को लेकर हुई, क्योंकि IMO का एक टारगेट है कि 2030 तक जो जीएसटी लिमिट है उसको 50% कम करना है। तो जो हमारा नेशनल प्लान इस पे बनना चाहिए, जिसमें 2023 तक जो हमारा जीएसटी रिडक्शन होना है उसका एक टारगेट फिक्स होना चाहिए, और 2023 से 2030 तक ये मॉनिटर होते जाना चाहिए कि ये टारगेट्स हम अचीव कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं। फिर 2030 से 2050 के लिए अलग टारगेट्स होना चाहिए ताकि हम आईएमओ के टारगेट को अचीव कर सकें। शिप रिसाइकलिंग के क्षेत्र में काफ़ी ये डिमांड्स आए कि इंडिया और ईयू का अग्रीमेंट होना चाहिए, और हम लोगों को ईयू कंट्रीज़ को भी साथ लेकर इसमें चलना चाहिए, खासकर डेनमार्क, नॉर्वे और स्वीडन को। जो नेशनल फ्लीट का हमारा टारगेट है 50% बढ़ाने का, उसमें भी ये मॉडर्नाइजेशन और जीएसटी लिमिट के अपने टारगेट को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम लोगों को अपना फ्लीट बढ़ाने का कार्यक्रम करना चाहिए। और जैसा मिसेस जोशी ने बताया, एक्सेस टू फाइनेंस एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल, ये दो एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दे उठे। डिजिटाइजेशन को लेकर एक बहुत बड़ी बात आई कि एक इंटरनेशनल शेयरिंग अग्रीमेंट है जिसमें यूरोपियन कंट्रीज पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, उसमें इंडिया को भी पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए, खासकर कंटेनर रिलेटेड जो डिजिटल रिसर्च चल रहा है उसमें। ग्रीन शिपिंग में डेनमार्क ने सुझाव दिया कि न्यू ओशन बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटीज जैसे विंड एनर्जी, सोलर, ऑफशोर फिशरीज, इस पर उनकी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करनी चाहिए, और डेनमार्क के साथ हम लोगों को एक जॉइंट फ्रेमवर्क बनाना चाहिए। सेफ्टी और पायरेसी रिलेटेड इश्यूज में मेन मुद्दा वही आया कि हम लोग डीजी शिपिंग और इंडियन नेवी को एक जॉइंट मॉनिटरिंग ग्रुप बनाए रखना चाहिए।
Maritime India Summit 2021 has been a historical event in the maritime world, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji on 2nd of March 2021, with an objective of expanding and exploring the potential business opportunities in the Indian maritime sector and making an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our Honorable Minister Shri Mansukh Bhai Mandaviya ji, Union Minister of State of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, independent charge, conceptualized this summit and took active participation right from the inaugural session to the valedictory session, and also summed up very well and gave up the takeaways and the way ahead to attain our objectives on Vision 2030. This was the first virtual mega summit with close to over 2 lakh participants, and n number of shipping companies and n number of shipping sectors did take up part on this, and it is worth an entry to the Guinness Book of Records, because we have not seen 2 lakh participants ever in the history. So we should certainly put an entry to the World Book of Guinness Records. By God's grace, HIMT has been fortunate to have signed multiple MOUs with DG Shipping for expansion of maritime activities. The MOUs included establishment of Center of Excellence for Research and Development, installation of simulators, expansion of maritime training institutes in Gujarat and other states of India, as well as overseas. We also signed an MOU for sponsoring of a seat every year to the World Maritime University, the India chapter, which is going to be soon being established in India. It was a great opportunity for us to also interact with the Honorable Minister, the shipping ministers, as well as the shipping secretary, the Director General, and about 50 CEOs who joined from various parts of the world globally. And it was a very interactive session where we could exchange ideas. HIMT was also fortunate to have been a platinum sponsor for this mega summit and had 3 virtual stalls in showcasing our activities and exploring further opportunities. Additionally, we were also the exclusive session partners for 2 of our sessions. One was on manpower development, skilling in maritime sectors for seafarers, and second one was developing the world-class ports. Our beloved and dynamic Director General Shri Amitabh Kumar ji was a convener for one of the session, that is the manpower skilling and maritime sector for seafarers, and we also had as speakers We have renowned speakers, including Dr. Malini Shankar, IS, former DG and current Vice Chancellor of IMU. We had Dr. Cleopatra, President of WMU, who both gave excellent and brilliant presentations and also welcome collaborations globally and taking the MET forward. The Vision 2030 of increasing the number of seafarers from 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs is certainly going to be a reality very soon. And we would remain as India a superpower in the world of maritime world.
After a major downturn in 2020 caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and despite renewed lockdowns in some part of the world, the global economy is expected to rebound in 2021. Shipping being a derived demand, the effects of the global trade rebound are sure to reflect on shipping's future.
Thanks to the policy stimulus provided by governments, trade has responded much better than expected, much stronger than what was forecast. The US and China have shown predominantly great recovery, but global economy is still expected to be at about 4 percentage points below pre-pandemic levels. However, in the past few months, one has seen a return of activity, of course subject to short-term volatility, and that has been the trend, but one is definitely seeing major gains as compared, of course, to 2020. This gain has been as a result of the unlocking of pent-up demand, supported by huge amount of rebounding consumer activity, demand and restocking. The impact of all of this has been differing on various sectors of shipping, and while the oil trade was still down, the bulk trade has been up, albeit slightly. Gas volumes are up, but the biggest beneficiary, of course, has been the container industry, which has shown 6 months of recovery and continuous increase in freight rates. Given all of what we are seeing, the latest data seems to suggest an upward movement, trajectory upwards in activity, and one is already looking at some indicators which are even going beyond 2019 levels.
In past few years, we have witnessed a rapid growth in consolidation of all industry segments of the global economy. As a result, the dominant players have assumed huge power and it continues to rise. Hence, we can safely say that the free market forces have taken a back seat. Considering the same thing, availability of containers and shipping space will not be determined by small changes in growth of GDP or small growth in demand or fall. We believe the situation will not change significantly over the next 6 months.
Shipping Corp shares are currently trading at Rs 128. The stock has gone up by 28% since its Rs 100 closing on February 26. This is the highest the shares have been trading in 10 years. The stock has been on an up move after the government said multiple parties have expressed interest in acquiring the SCI stake.
This high has been primarily due to the psychological factor of the disinvestment of SCI and the fact that multiple bidders have shown interest against the EOI issued by the Government of India. The total number is not yet exactly known, but there are at least 4 bidders like GESCO, the JM Bakshi, Bain Capital, Safe Sea of USA, the Foresight Group, and I think the name is some Mega Capital Hyderabad-based company. So these are various consortium which have expressed interest for the SCI disinvestment, and this psychological factor has resulted in the script going 10-year high. But to put the matter in perspective, one must mention that the book value of SCI script, that is its net worth divided by the total number of shares, is about 160 rupees. So despite the recent spike, the market value is still well below the book value of the share price. The other factor which has definitely contributed to the script going high is the SCI's decent quarterly result over the last couple of quarters. SCI has announced a few hundred crores of profit over the last couple of quarters on the strength of the liner division making profit after a very, very long time because of the spike in the container rates all over the world, as well as the dry bulk doing much better than in the past. Of course, the tanker segment is going through a challenging time, and tanker is the mainstay of SCI. Nevertheless, all these factors have contributed in SCI script going 10-year high, and one can hope that since the fundamentals of SCI is very strong, the script will remain strong even going forward. All the best to SCI and all its employees as well as all other stakeholders. God bless SCI.
It is really heartening to see the recent quantum jump in SCI's share prices. The company share is now trading around rupees 128 and reflects the upbeat market sentiments after an excellent response to the expression of interest received by the government on 1st March towards SCI's disinvestment. Well, I feel the market will still move northwards as we close towards the bidding stage. I am also confident that record of rupees 135, an all-time high, will be breached. However, I must confess that I never expected such overwhelming participation. It is a galaxy of bidders: Foresight, Jesco, SafeSea, Interrupts, GM Bakshi, Vedanta, and Fairfax. This interest is indeed a matter of great pride for all employees, past and present. The stage is now set for the so-called final battle. I pray and hope whosoever finally gets the control of the company will maintain the legacy and keep the flag of SCI flying high.
SCI has always been a very financially strong company. The fundamentals have always been strong, and now it is good to see the stock market realizing and unlocking the intrinsic value of its stock. Is good sign for the Indian shipping, good sign for the SCI, and good sign for the stakeholders, the shareholders of the company. So in all, it will have a very good effect on the overall shipping sentiments.
Indian Maritime University, a central university under Ministry of Shipping, Government of India, offering various UG and PG courses in the maritime sector. UG programs in Marine Engineering, Nautical Science and Naval Architecture, PG and research programs in Naval Architecture, Marine Engineering and Management. Campuses located in Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Kolkata, Mumbai and Kochi. For admissions and program details, please visit www.imu.edu.in.
It has been a particularly strange Q1 for dry bulk shipping. Usually, the larger ships capesizes with capacity of around 180,000 deadweight tons do poorly all quarter. But this year, they did better in January than they had in a decade before succumbing to their usual slump. Then there was a major spurt in the smaller bulk carriers. with daily earnings hitting $100,000. Are these a precursor of the shipping boom? We spoke to some of the industry gurus.
China's unofficial and effective ban on coal imports from Australia, the world's top exporter of coking coal and number 2 behind Indonesia in thermal coal, has been a big factor. Consequently, China imports from Indonesia soared. Chinese action forced traders and end users across Asia to adjust buying patterns. As Chinese traders bid up the price for Indonesian cargoes, buyers in India were left with little option but to buy from elsewhere, example Australia, increasing Kamsarmax ton mile and resulting in scarcity of Supramax in Indian Ocean, which significantly carry volume of Indonesian to Indian subcontinent. It appears the readjustment of trade flows will continue this year as the Chinese-Australia trade dispute shows little sign of resolution. With seaborne demand overall recovering as economies rebound, also phase 1 of US-China trade deal has pushed up sales volume of grain, soybean meal with substantial volume of grain sold outstanding for shipment. Capesize segment remains a concern with weaker iron ore output in Brazil due to trailing dam safety and pandemic related issues, causing a downward push on Kamsarmax size as buyers combine 2 cargo stems or upsize to lower freight cost. Previously, shipping boom were driven by buoyant Capesize rates. This time it's the Supramax and Kamsarmax size driving freight market. With a relatively small new building order book for ships in last 3 to 4 years, the revival in globe trade can be expected to sustain healthy freight charter rates. The physical freight market has been much stronger than the FFA, freight forward paper trade, increasing contracting carriers' counterparty risk, which brings into focus the need for professional, well-informed and creditable performance risk assessment. Stay safe, keep healthy.
The first quarter so far this year has been quite different from the previous few years, with some very heady charter hire numbers. The obvious question which is being asked now is whether it is a precursor for the coming boom. Now, what is this boom or what is this super cycle? There has to be some reference point. So in my opinion, if the average for the 2021 year is twice the average of 2019 and 20, then possibly we can call it JM Great Cycle. And if it is 3 times or more than the average of 2019 and 20, we might as well call it a super cycle. In any case, we need to keep an eye on the new building orders which are being placed this year, which might result in curtailing of the longevity of a great cycle if there is one. Though there are different opinions with their own reasoning, the general consensus is that dry bulk market this year could be something that we will remember for a long time. Will we see JM's great cycle or the super cycle? I think time will only tell.
After a year of isolation and lockdowns, 4 long months on a cruise is looking pretty good to a lot of people. The COVID-19 pandemic was raging in July when Viking Ocean Cruises opened reservation books for a 136-day world cruise itinerary. The Christmas 2021 departure sold out in weeks. In December, in the midst of the second wave, the company opened a second cruise for the same period. It too quickly sold out. Despite huge losses, the cruise sector is now looking forward to a massive revival as the COVID-19 vaccine drive picks up around the world.
Captain P.P. Radhakrishnan, chairman of the Shipping Corporation of India from 1991 to 1995, passed away on the morning of the 7th March 2021 due to kidney illness. He was the first ever master mariner to become chairman of SCI. He is reputed for his tremendous contributions to the starting of offshore shipping in India. May the departed soul rest in eternal peace.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. See you next Monday.